Start the recording. Today we are going to start with collection type. Collections. Yesterday we people are discussing about this data type, right? So this data type is a basic one. Apart from this, collection is a one which is very important in case of Python and which is unique in Python, which makes Python coding very optimized. In the sense, it reduces the number of lines of coding. And we'll see what are the collection is there. When you say about collection, we'll be speaking about list, tuple, strings, and dictionary. Sets also is there and followed by dictionary. These are the collection type we actually are going to discuss and these are very important one. Okay. Amatya will discuss this one at the end of the session. Ma. Okay. Just remind me, we'll discuss this pattern question at the end of the session. I'll let you know how to do it. So this is the one which this is all about your collection, guys. We'll see one by one and what is the functionality of it. This particular collection topic is very much important. Where majority of your program based on fundamentals you'll be getting from these topics only. Okay, we'll see one by one and what are the functions available. Each and every topic has n number of predefined functions. So these functions will help us to write a program in an optimized way. So let us start with first with list. So whenever we want to store a group of element, I can store with any one of the data type. All the collection type is going to be used for storing a group of elements. So when I say group of element, it is similar to your array concept. As you see in C programming will be using array concept, which is used for storing a group of integer or group of float value. But here, these collection type is used for storing group of different data type. Okay, whenever I say list is noted with the notation called square bracket. Whenever I want to declare a list, I'll be declaring with the square bracket and declaring like this is an empty list. Here this list is a variable name, guys. You can give any name. Just now I given list as a variable name. So this is how to declare an empty list. So if you want to know what is the type of this element, I told you that in data type itself there is one predefined function called type of. So by making use of this function, you can able to find type of the any variable. If I give type of lst, you can notice that it will display. Just we are supposed to execute this, guys. If it doesn't execute this, then it will show that list not defined. So now let us execute this so that it will display that what is the data type of this lst. Data type of this lst is list. So the main purpose of list to store a group of values. I can store a group of value. Okay. And next is, I told you that how to declare an empty list. And apart from this, if you want to declare a value, I can declare list assign 1, 2, 3. Either collection of integers, I can declare it, or I can declare even a collection of different data type, such a way. Either one with integer, another with float value, another with boolean value, the other with string value, another with boolean value, where all type of data type I can able to initialize it. It is a mixed one. So as we say, list can be declared with collection of value. That's it. It can be of any data type. Okay, say collection of single data type or different data type. This is how you're supposed to initialize the list. And even list can be given as a nested one. What is nested in the sense? Nested if we have seen it. What does nested means? Nested means what does it mean, ma? If inside if. We have seen it, right? I guess you people could remember. If inside if is a nested if. The same way, list inside list can be declared. So you can notice here. List, I'm going to declare it and I can declare 1, 2 and inside this I can declare another list. List inside list can be done like this. Okay. So which means that this is a separate list and in this list at this position one more list is there. This is nested list. Even a list can be declared list inside list. Where in case of dealing with your array problems, your two-dimensional array, all those things, we can make use of nested list, guys. Okay, when you're solving with the problem statement, you'll be clear with it. And next is, this is all about your declaration, guys. Either you can declare an empty list and add value to it, and or you can initialize directly with a value like this with a collection of single type or collection of different types. So keep in mind that whenever I say list, list should be mentioned by using square bracket, and even list can be nested one after other. Inside list, it can be nested. This is all about the declaration of your list. And now we'll move on to the next topic, that is how to access this list. What are the different ways for accessing this list? If you want to, just let me make it as a heading, it will be easy for you people to understand. Okay, accessing a list can be done in two different approaches. One is by using indexing. Okay, and other is by using slicing. So these are the two approaches which is used for accessing a list, and this indexing can be done in two methods. One is positive indexing and other is negative indexing. These are the two types of accessing. We'll see one by one. So right now we'll take a list 1, and this list 1 is the value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We'll take a list of values like this. Now we are going to start with indexing. So we know that the index value of the how the array takes the index value. The first value is given with the index value 0, and next value is given with the value 1, and next with 2, and next with 3, and so on. It goes on like this, isn't it? So if I give list of, as you see in array concept and see guys, the same way. If I give list of 0, the first value, which is 10, list of 0, just a minute, we will execute this cell. Oh god, we are supposed to command it. If it doesn't command, then it throws us error. Okay, now let us execute it. So if I give list of 0, the 0th position element has been printed. I guess you know this is the same as your C programming. First element is initiated with the 0th index position, and so on. It will be, I can access it. The list of 1 is accessed with, if I give list of 1, it goes with 20. Okay, this is all about your positive indexing. Okay, if I give the concerned index position, the concerned value in the index position will be displayed. The same list can be given with the negative index. This is the next one which you are going to see. The same indexing is given with the negative index. It is given with -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. The same element, this particular element can be accessed with -1. This is all about the negative indexing, guys. So it starts at your right end. So right end, it will start with -1. So we know that till 0, we are having the positive indexing. So negative indexing start with -1. Okay, the rightmost element will be given with the index value -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. The same list can be accessed if I give list of -5. You can notice that the same 10 is going to be displayed. So a list can be accessed either by the positive index or by the negative index. So whatever the list you are declaring, it can be given with two types of indexing, positive indexing and negative indexing. Is it clear for everyone? This plays an important role, guys. Okay. I'll come next to nested. Just listen to it. Okay. I'll come to next to nested, guys. Is it clear? Is this topic clear? Okay, good. Now I'll move on to, guys, I'll let you about nested. Just let me complete this by using basic one. Then I'll go with the next one. Which one? Previous one which you want, Manikant? I couldn't understand. Which one you're saying? Previous, just we have seen about the declaration of the list. Yeah, this is a variable name, just LST1. Okay, list is a keyword. Okay, list is a keyword. LST is a variable name. LST1, LST2, you can give X, Y, Z, any name. Okay, don't think this is a LIST. LIST is a proper collection type name. We should not use the variable name. Okay. Guys, those who want me to repeat this particular nested list, just give me a second. We'll complete this accessing, then we can go to the previous one. Okay, please wait for a few minutes. So we are not going to give Lakshmi, we are not going to assign positive indexing and negative indexing. By default, it will be assigned. Don't think guys, we are giving it. No. When a list is declared, by default, the particular list can be accessed by two types of indexing. If you know about the indexing, you can access the list element either by positive indexing or negative indexing. We are not going to initialize these elements. These indexes are default. Okay. Accessing can be done by any one of the approach. Okay, this is all about the positive indexing and negative indexing, guys. And next, I'll move on to slicing concept. Guys, those who are looking to explain this nested list, just wait for a few seconds. After completing this accessing the list, we'll go back and we'll explain. So I'll show you about how to do indexing in this one. And next is, we are going to see with the slicing concept. So whenever we are going to see with the slicing, we'll have a 3 parameter. As we see for this for loop range, we have seen 3 parameter, right? Start, end, and step value. The same thing we can able to see to start, end, and followed by my step value. It can be possible here also for slicing. This is a 3 separate parameter which is used for slicing. As we see for loop range, the same thing. Start value, default value is 0 and end value will go till n minus 1 and your step value will go by default increment by 1 step. This is the default value. Now what is the list one this particular variable has? When I call list one, this is a value, right? Now we people are going to implement slicing here. So if I mention list one, so what is the 3 parameter I told you? Start, end and step. If I give simply colon, the entire list will be displayed. Okay, the entire list will be displayed. If at all I want to start from 2, I want to start from 2 to 20, sorry, I want to start from 20, I want to display till 50. In those cases, the same list can be given, list to 1. So what is the index position of 20? We know that's 1, right? We can mention 1 colon. So what happens? Starting from 1, it is going to display till 50. The same one if I mention where I want to display starting from 2. So I know that index position is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? So if I want to display from 20 to 40, slicing. I want to slice the list. I want to take a value only from this range. In those cases, what is the starting position? 1. And what is the ending position? 3. So if I give like this, just notice it what I'm getting. Starting question is 1 and ending question is 3. If I give like this, you can notice that I'm getting only 1 and 20. But actually, what is the list? 1, 2, 3 in the sense 1, 2, 3. But I should get 40. But 40 is not there. The reason is by default, your slice will go only till given number minus 1. So if I give 3, it will go only to the second index. It will never go to the third index. If I want the third element to be displayed, then I'm supposed to give 4. Got it? This is how your slicing works. Starting from first position till your third position. If I want to go to the third position, I should give 4. The default value is end will go till the given number minus 1. That's the reason. And if you want to have a step value, 2 to step, that's possible. So here I can show you guys. Look at here. Starting value by default is 0. Ending value, if it is not given, it's going to go till end. And if I execute like this, you can notice that from the beginning, it will take 2 to step. Okay, this is all about your positive slicing. Where the same slicing can be done in a negative manner also. If I give list, okay, list 1 of colon minus 1. So what happened? Your list will be displayed in a reverse order, where it will start from your minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. It will go like this. Okay. Even the negative step is also possible. Not only positive step, negative step is also possible. Just give me a second. Few people has asked down what is the Guys, I guess you people are confused with this positive indexing and negative indexing. Don't think that we are not going to initialize this index value. By default, is going to be given. Whatever you wanted, you can access negative indexing and positive indexing at the same time. Accessing is up to you. Printing both the value or using both the value positive and negative is up to you. Based on your requirement, you can use it. These index values are default initialization. You are not going to go to the index, go to the value 10 and you are not going to initialize the 0th index position. By default, it is initialized. Don't confuse with the index value. Just think to the C programming array concept. Are we giving the index value of the element? No, right? By itself, it is initializing the same thing. Once I initialize the list, the value is initialized by itself. What is it, Manika? So this is what I told you guys. If I give 4, it will go 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 in the sense it will go only till the third position. N will go by default end minus 1. Got it? So it will never go till the end. As we see in the for loop. So we are having a value 10, 20, 30. So till 30 it is the third index position, right? If I want the fourth value, I should give again 4. Then it will go one step before to it. Okay, Amati, starting position. Just I'll let you know the starting position of negative indexing, Amati. Just wait a minute. Narendra, what is there? So, Narendra, you have a done. Good question. This is what I told you previously. I think you didn't notice it. 0 is already assigned for the first value. So, again, I can't able to assign 0 for here negative indexing. So, it arises confusion. That is the reason they are given with the negative indexing minus 1. Okay. What is that, Manika, in negative indexing? Deepak, range is used in for loop. Slicing is used for slicing a group of lists. Satya, you want to explain the slicing again? Okay, good. I'll explain it, ma. 18th step you want to explain again. Okay, I'll explain this one. Okay, wait, just I'll explain this 18th step. Listen carefully, ma. Those who wanted, I'll repeat this 18th step. Listen carefully. Guys, don't compare slicing with your range. Range is used for implementing your for loop. Slicing is used in the case of just splitting the values from a group of values. Don't compare this with that one. The syntax is almost similar. The parameters are similar. That's it. Okay. Guys, I'll explain this 18th one. Just wait for a minute. 18th, 19th. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you with negative values, starting, ending value. Just give me a second. Okay. I guess all your questions I have answered it. We'll start working with it. Sasikumar, you're asking, will slicing work for yesterday questions? I don't know what is the question. Then how could I say? Okay, listen. So those who expect this one to be explained here, listen here. Those who want 19th step to be explained, listen carefully. Lakshmi, here what I mentioned is start value. I didn't mention it. If I didn't mention the start value, by default start with the 0th position. And end value I didn't mention it, so it goes till end value. And if here I have mentioned a step value, 2 to step. Normally, if I give colon colon, normally it have one step, so from it will go like this. Normally it will go one step. Now since I given 2 step, it will go from 10 to 30, 30 to 50. 2 step will be taken by the cursor. Okay, this is all about this output, guys. So that is the reason I'm getting 10, 30 and 50. Okay, and now we'll come on to this slicing. Anyone is confused with the slicing, this part. So I'll show you this one. So when I print a list, this is what happened. List is all of list 1, right? Okay. So when I print list 1, if I notice that these are the values in list 1. So what I mentioned, starting position is 1. So this is the 0th position, this is first position, this is second position, this is third position, this is fourth position. So you can notice that what is the starting position I given? The starting position is 1. So your cursor starts at this position And what is the ending position I given here? Guys, listen carefully. What is the ending position? Ending position is 4. So what do I say? Yeah, n will go the given number minus 1 time. It will never go to the given number time. It will go only given number minus 1 time. So what is the given number? The given number is 4. The given number minus 1 in the sense it will go one step before to it. So the values from 20 to 40 will be displayed. This is all about a n parameter. Is it clear? So is it clear, guys? Those are confused with it. Okay, good. Like, what is your doubt, Ma Vijaya? So why colon 4? Colon, this is the structure of it. Akash, here, this is the end state. I'm mentioning this point, you should end it. Start from 1, starting from 3, I want to cut this value and I want to make use of it. So if you want to slice the value from the group of value, I'm mentioning this one. This is the n parameter. 4 is the n1 I given. Whatever you want, whatever the part you wanted, you can cut it. Okay, slicing from the group of value. It's our requirement. So first you should understand the syntax of it. Then you can mention why it is y colon. This is the exact syntax. Okay, you should know the syntax. Then only you can notice that what is the parameter value I given there. Guys, this is only for your view. Does the list changes here? Harika, does the list changes? You can notice that whenever I'm calling list one, it is like this only. Just only for our view, I'm doing it. Okay. Okay, guys. Now those who people asked in negative indexing, now look at here. We'll go with the negative indexing. Positive indexing, I guess all the questions I've answered it. So now look at your negative indexing, guys. So default, by default, if I give like this or if I didn't give anything, this is the default value, guys. Your step value is by default increment by 1, by plus 1. Okay. Now, if I want to implement negative indexing or if I want to reverse anything here, just give colon colon minus 1. I'll be getting the data in a reversed order. So you people that feels that I want to give the starting position, you can give it. I want to start from your third index position, colon colon minus 1. So look at here what happens. Nothing is there. Okay. Just a minute. So you want to mention the starting here, right? So let us mention starting from minus 3. What happens, guys? I couldn't get you people something. Someone is doing. Yeah, variable name is wrong. Yeah, thank you, ma. Variable name will try to modify. Just a minute. Just a minute. We'll modify the variable name. So let me give a value 3. Now I'll let you know what is it. So we'll have a list here. So we'll have for reference I'll have here. So we know that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I mention starting position as 3. So starting from third position, 1 by 1 value will be decremented. Starting from third position, 1 by 1 value will be decremented. If you feel that you should, I should go till 1, you can mention the step value 1 here. So this slicing can be taken with any range. So from this position, minus 1 in the sense it will keep on decrement 1 by 1 value. Guys, this is all about a negative indexing, guys. So if you want some other combination to be done, just work with it. And if you find something doubt, you can let me know. Okay. I'll move on to next topic. If you want to access, generally you can access like this. Or if you want to mention the starting range and your ending, the starting range. And if you want to certain number, give the number here and follow by the step value minus 1. Clear? This is all about your positive indexing and negative indexing. Okay, I want you people to try out. I can give multiple combination, guys, but try it out. If I put all the combination here, time is not sufficient. Okay. So if people can try it out, and if you have some doubt, you can let me know in afternoon session. Negative indexing. Negative indexing in the sense, Manikant, you can notice that if it is a list, this particular list also has a negative value where the last value will be starting with -1 and you have -2, -3, -4, -5. So if you want to access this element 50, this 50 can be accessed either by list 1 of 4 or it can be accessed with list 1 of -1. Either by using any one of the index you can access it. This is all about a negative indexing. Okay. Now I'll move on to next one. So what's your doubts guys? So you want to put here as -3 and check it. Is that okay? Or you want to mention the end value? Guys, all the other combination, try it in your device. If I keep on doing here, so time is not sufficient to complete this topic. So if you find something error, you can let me know. Okay, you can put this is what I told you. Multiple combination is there. Just try it in your device. If you find something difficulties there, let me know. I'll help you out. Okay. Yeah, you can use this like -1 for reversing a string and all those things. Okay, and string concept also I'll let you know guys. We can reverse a string simply by mentioning this one. Okay, I'll let you know this combination by strings also. It also has this feature. And next one is this nested if-else. Okay, we are speaking about this nested, right? So listen here. In case of nested, as I say that is a single list, we can able to mention that this has an index position 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here in case of nested if, let us assume I want to access this apple. How can I access it? So this apple can be accessed by using, what is this index position? The complete index position is 2. So this can be accessed with 2 of 0. Got it? It can be accessed by like this. List of second index. If I give generally list of second index, it will give apple and orange. So if I want to access apple specifically, I can give list of in second position 0th element. You can access like this. Clear with it? So maximum you will be getting only this accessing part guys. How to access the index alone. Okay, this slicing you'll be getting only in a single list. You'll never get in a nested list. In the case of array, there will be no this. In case of matrix problem, you'll never get slicing here. In case of nested if-else, you'll be getting in nested list. You'll be getting only the part of how to access the element. This is how you're supposed to access it. Clear with it? The entire element is considered as a second position, and this is the 0th position as second element, and this is the first position as second element. So the entire element is the index position 2. This is 0, 1. This is all about a nested if-else guys. So a nested list. Okay. I guess you people are clear with the nested list accessing it. And next one, we'll move on to how to do removal operation, which is nothing but modification, all those process, how to do. We'll see to it. Manoj, what is that? How to get 0, ma'am? Which 0, Manoj, you want to get it? I couldn't understand. How you get 0, ma'am? 0, this 0 you are asking about it. Okay, this 0. This 0 is the index position of this one, the inner list. So every list will have a sublist will start with the index position 0. This is 0 and this is 1. So 2 of 0 will give you apple, 2 of 1 will give you orange. Matrix, normally we'll have matrix like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay, so 2 of 0 will give you apple and 2 of 1 will give you orange. This is how you're going to mention it. What's your doubt guys? Just give me a second. How can we get 4 from 4.5? Take the value and do some mathematical operation. Okay, we are having the number of predefined functions is there. Okay. Sizing, that's not necessary right now, Amartya. Okay, it's not necessary. Mostly you'll never get questions from it. Just try to it. Okay, in this it is not necessary to implement it. Try to it and let me know what you're getting to it, getting for it. Okay, listen guys, and we'll move on for addition. Today I thought of completing this tuple and list in the morning. Okay, listen. List. Next we are going to see how to do deletion operation. If you want to delete a single element from a list. So let us assume we'll take this element, this particular list called list 1. If I want to remove a single element, for example, let us assume I want to remove 20 here. So here I can mention del. Del of my, del is a keyword which is used for removing the element, delete. So list 1, in the list 1, if I want to remove the index position 1, I can mention del of list 1. Now if I call the list 1, you can notice that the particular element will be removed. So you'll be getting 10, 30, 40, 50. So this 20 is removed here. This is how I can able to delete it. Apart from this, if you feel that I want to delete the range of values, for example, let me give a few more values guys, okay? 40, 50, 60, 70, okay? Let this be value. Let us assume I want to delete a range of values starting from this to till 50. I want to delete a range of values. So what is the index position of it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to delete this range. So if this is the range, what is the slicing range we are supposed to give? What is the range I should give here guys in case of slicing? I want to slice this part and delete it. How can I mention? What is the range for it? Good, good. The range for it is, we'll have 1 to 5 or 1 to 4. Good. I could say everyone is saying correct answer. Good guys. Good. 1 to 4. Manikant, why it is 1 to 4? Again confused. It is not 1 to 4. Step value will go one step minus to it. If I give 5 on it, it will go to 4. If I give 4, it will go 1 till 3. Okay. So we are supposed to mention list 1 of starting from first position till my fifth position. If you give 5, then it will slice till fourth position. So the step value by default is a step 1 value. It is not required to mention it guys. Okay, it is not a mandatory one to mention. So if I call my list 1, you can notice that this particular range of value will be removed. Okay, this is nothing but slicing and removing it. I'm slicing this part and cutting completely out of it. Okay, these are the basic operation what I can do in a list. And apart from this, we are having some predefined methods which you people should know. These are the mandatory methods. You should have a thorough knowledge in it, guys. Only this thing is going to help you in optimizing your code. We'll start with the predefined methods. What are list methods available? And I'll show you with one example for each. What's your doubt, Ma? What's the doubt in for self party? You can understand what we did. Okay, good. I'll explain. Don't worry. Just listen a minute. So what you're doing is I want to delete a element. So previously what we mentioned. So if I give delete of index position 1, only the first one index position, only one element I've deleted it. If I want to delete a group of value from a list, what I can do, I can slice this element by mentioning a slicing range. Starting from my first index till my fifth index. If I give till 5, we know that it will go till 4. Okay, so starting from my first index till my fourth index, I am going to perform slicing and deleting it. Okay, Anikan, what happened? Yeah, it's up to us how the range we are taking it. I didn't mention though, Jyoti Maria, I didn't mention it. You can notice that once I'm trying to print the list, the remaining elements is as such. Got it? The remaining elements 10, 60 and 700 is displayed as such. This element has been removed from the list. I've deleted it. Like a memory. In your folder, you're deleting some files. The remaining files will be as such, right? So I'm dating these data. The remaining data 10, 60 and 70 is going to be as such. I couldn't get what is your doubt. Why three parameter? The same slicing, guys. I don't know why you're saying the start, step, and end. What happened? What is your doubt? Yeah, we can add a element. Yeah, you can slice by using negative also. Okay, just give me a second. I couldn't understand. Many doubts people are popping up. Can we do one thing? After 8:30, can we have a discussion about it? If people can note down your doubt, I'll explain you after 8:30. Is that okay? Let me complete this topic. Shall we discuss these doubts after 8:30? Your doubts on slicing? Is that okay for you people? So let me complete this topic method. Yes, right. Okay, your doubts are on the same topic. What I repeated twice, the same topic you are asking doubt. So let me explain you people after 8:30 ma. So let me complete this topic. Give me few seconds, okay? Okay ma. Listen. And next is we are going to see with some of the predefined methods. What are the methods is available and we are going to do manipulation only by using this method. So if at all you want to perform remove operation. So let us take this list itself. It will be easy for us to access it. So we'll take this as a list. So in this list, I'm going to do it. And let me list out what are the methods available. The first method, what you're going to see is, we are going to see with the remove method. So this remove method is going to accept one parameter, that is nothing but we are supposed to pass the item which you are going to be removed has to be mentioned here. Okay. So you'll be mentioning this. This is the list one where you're going to take it. Okay. So if I want to remove the element called 30, so I'll be mentioning my list name list1 dot remove, okay, of 30. If I pass like this, then I try to print my list1. You can notice that from your list1, 30 will be removed. So either by using this del of index value, I can do it, or by using the predefined remove method, I can remove a element from a list. So if I pass 30 as a parameter for the remove method, the particular element will be removed. Okay, this is the one way for removing a element. The other method is the same remove can be done by using other one method, that is nothing but pop. Here, if you want to pop a element, I can mention the index position of a element. For example, you can notice here, if I mention list1, right now if I print list1, look to here, if I print list1, you can notice that this is the original list guys, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70. This is the original list. Let us assume I want to pop out the index position 1. So I can mention 30 is not there. This is my original list right now. So list1 dot pop of index position 1. Who is at the index position 1? 20 is the index position 1. Now if I try to print my list 1, you can notice that 20 is removed and the remaining element is displayed. So if I want to remove an element from a list, either I can make use of remove method or I can make use of pop method. The only difference is if you make use of remove method, you are supposed to pass the particular element to be removed. And if I want to make use of the pop method, I want to pass the index position of it. This is the difference. And apart from this, if you want to clear the entire list, I can make use of clear method. You can notice here, if I mention list1 dot clear. So after this, let me try to print my list1. You can notice that there will be an empty list. Yeah, this particular, these are the multiple ways you can make use of anything. If you want to use delete, you can use delete. It's up to you. These are the multiple options available. You can use whatever you are convenient with it. There is no rule that you should use only pop to remove an element by index position. You can use delete also. It's up to you. Okay. So if I mention clear, you can find out that the entire list has been cleared. Okay, the entire list is clear. Right now only the empty list is there. This is all about clearing a element from a list. And next is, if you want to add some element to a list, we are having one method called append. So by using this append method, I can able to add a element, but make sure that by using append, I can able to add only one element to a list, not more than a element. Okay. Guys, all those things is given for only single element. Don't confuse for multiple element. All those things is used for only single element. If you want this process to be repeated multiple times, put this process in a loop. Okay, append is also done for only one element. Look at here. All the methods, whatever I say, if it is for multiple elements, I'll let you know. All the methods is only for a single element. If I give list dot append of 10, then if I print 2, try to print my list 1. You can notice that the one element will be added to it. Okay, so the particular element will be added to it. What is this doubt? Huh? Clear is used for clearing an entire list. Then how can we clear a single element? That's not possible, right? Don't think in vice versa. That will never help you. Clear in the sense clear a list. So don't think that can I clear a single element. Okay. Listen. So this is how to add a element. If we want to add one more element to my list, then I can mention 20. You can notice that the one more element will be added. Guys, these are permanent changes in your list. Once I use remove or pop or append, this does the permanent changes. Everything is a permanent. Okay, if I remove, it will remove completely. Guys, all your doubts, just hold for a few minutes. Let me complete this topic. If it is relevant, I'll answer, guys. I can notice that whether duplicate happens, all those things, just you people try it out. Okay, try it for a few minutes, then you can let me know. Just give me time to complete this topic. I'll answer all your queries. Just give me some time. So by using this, you're going to append a value. So let us assume I want to append 5 values. What I can do is I can have a list here and I can have a for I in range of, I want to add 5 values, right? I can put like this. And if I want to add 5 values to this list, I can mention list dot append. Okay. And inside this, I can convert as an integer value. I can accept the input here. I can accept the input. And at the end, if I print my list, you can notice that it will accept 5 values. So if I execute it, look at here, I can accept 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So this is what I'm saying you people, append can able to do only one value at a time. If you want to make multiple value or you want to insert the element at the index position, all those things, you people try it out. All those inserting element at the specific index position, all those things I'll explain you during your problem solving tricks and tips. Right now we are seeing only the theoretical part of it. You can even insert the particular index position, insertion can be done, all the traversal process can be done. First we should know how to create a normal list, then we can go for the inserting at the particular position. Okay, look at here, when there is an empty list, if you want to add more than one element to a list, you can put in a loop, guys. If you want to add 5 element, I told you that by using this append function, I can able to add only one element. If you want to add 5 element, put this list dot append in a loop and accept the input in this parameter. So one by one element is accepted. At the end, when I try to print the list, you can find that the list is printed. Like this, we can add multiple elements to a list. Okay. And next is, this is all about your append. And next one is index. If we want to know the index of the one particular element, I doesn't know what is the index position of the particular element. I want to find where the element is there. In those cases, I can mention in index of element. For example, so if I mention list, you know that this is a particular list is there, 10, 20, 30, 40 is there. I want to know the index position of this particular 50. Then I can mention index of 50. So it gives the index position of 50, that is 4. Okay, like this we can able to mention it. What is that? Which one you're asking, Manikan? How we got 10, 20 and so on. And this one. I'm putting this process in a loop. I'm accepting, these are the input accepted from the user by using input method. Okay, by using input method, you can notice here, I'm accepting input from the user, int of input. So input I'm just feeding to my list, then I'm writing print and showing it. Okay, this is just adding an element to the list. So this is all about your index value, guys. It will give you the index position of it. And next is extern. If you want to extern one list by the other list, I can make use of extern list. So you can notice here, okay, you can notice here, we know that your list has this values. Your list has this values. If I'm going to have one more list to call list 1, here I'll have apple, orange is there. I want to extend my list with list 1. So I can mention list dot, okay, extend of list 1. List dot extend of list 1. If I give like this, and after this, when I try to print my original list, I'm checking it, what happens. We know that the original list already has a value 10, 20, 30, 40 and apple. So if I'm trying to extend this with the other list, what happened? This will be extended with apple and orange. So one list has been extended with the other list. This is the use of extending, adding two lists. And next is, as you people ask, if I want to insert an element at one particular index position, there is one predefined method that is called insert. There is a method called insert. Guys, I want you people to hold on your doubts for 5-10 minutes. Just let me complete this topic and I'll clarify your doubts. Okay, until if you're keeping your doubts also, it is not possible to be answered. Okay, don't mistake. So I'm going to perform insert operation. If I want to perform insert, it will accept two parameters. One is the index value, another parameter is your element. These are the two parameters where I'm going to insert it. Okay, insert index comma element. So let us take this list. Right now this list is there, right? List. We'll take this list. Let us assume I want to insert the value to it. For example, let us assume I want to insert 25 after 20. So what is the index position of 20? So 0, 1 is there, right? So let us assume I'm mentioning list dot insert. And what is the first parameter of insert? I told you index position. So at the second index position, I want to insert 25. And after this, let me check it by printing to it. So you can notice that after first position, there is a second index position, right? You can notice that at the second index position, the value 25 has been inserted. Like this, by specifying the particular index position, I can able to insert a value. Okay, guys, you can see that right now it is a small command, but when you're going with the problem statement, you're supposed to discuss about, this plays a major role. You're supposed to insert a element or you're supposed to fetch the element. All those commands are very much important, guys. Every statement is important. So like this, you can able to fetch, insert a value at the particular position. So don't think that second, this is at the second position. The value insert will happen. This value will be shifted. So this is what happens here. Okay, we need no need of taking care of each and everything. Your compiler by itself take care of it. Just mention the index position alone where you want to perform insert operation. And apart from this, we do have other methods also. The other methods is count. If you want to find the number of occurrence of the particular element, then I can make use of count method. In count method, you want to pass the element or item which you want to count it. Guys, whatever the syntax I give, this is the syntax, exact syntax. If I mean that element in the sense, it means item. If I mean that index in the sense, it means the index position. Both are same. Okay, concatenation and extend both are same. Listen. And next is, let us take a list one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 5. If it is there, if I mention list 1 dot count of 1. So I want to find the number of occurrence of my count of 1. So I can notice that 3 has occurred. So 1 has occurred 3 times. So it is displaying the output as 3. Got it? Count will give the number of occurrence of the element what you are passing in a parameter. This is the functionality of the count method. And next one is reverse. If you want to reverse your list, I can make use of reverse. So by default, we know that by using slicing, by mentioning colon colon minus 1, you can reverse it. Apart from this, by mentioning this reverse method, you can reverse it, guys. So here, each and every time I'm supposed to scroll up and down. Okay, let me mention, we'll take a list. List 1, this is there, right? We'll take some other value. List, we'll check to list. Okay, this is a list. I want to reverse this list. This is your original list. If I want to reverse it, where orange should come to your left hand and your 10 should go to your right hand, I can mention list dot reverse of. So if I mention like this, what happens? The entire list will be reversed. You are supposed to print and check to it. If I printing like this, you can notice that it will be reversed. Okay. And next, this is all about your reverse, guys. The same thing is done by using colon colon minus 1. It's up to you. You can use any one of the method. And next is we are going to see with the sort method. Okay. Sort method is used for arranging in one particular order. Don't think that if I say sort, many people will say that if I have combination of integer and string, don't think with the combination. You're not going to get with this one. Okay, you'll be getting the particular list either with the combination of integer or combination of alphabet. So if it is a combination of alphabet, it will sort in a based on the alphabetical order. If it is if it is a integer, it will sort based on your numbers. So don't try to combine these two and don't try to do this one. Implement this sort operation either in a complete integer list or complete string list. Don't try to do both the thing. Okay. So if I want to perform sort operation, I can mention list dot sort. So after this, I'll print to it. You can notice that it will give you the original list in a sorted way. Okay, the original list will be sorted way. So what is here, okay? Yeah, you can do swapping of position of element. Everything can be done. Okay, all those things can be done. Right now, I guess you people could remember what is the logic I mentioned for swapping. The same way, Venkat, you can mention the index position, I can able to swap it. Yeah, you can replace anything as you want, okay? Listen. So if I mention short, the original list, here when I'm trying to print my list, you can notice that the original list is sorted. Apart from this, we are having one more method called sorted. Sort is there, sorted is there. Okay, so before moving on to sorted, I'll let you know before one more process is there, guys. Just a minute. Here, what is this order? It is by default, what is the order it is giving? It is giving in the ascending order, right? If you want to sort in a descending order, I want the same list to be sorted in a descending order. So what I can give is, I can mention here in the parameter, reverse assign true. If I give like this, you can notice that the same list will be sorted in a descending order. So what is the default parameter here? The default parameter, if you're not giving also, by default is taking reverse assign false. Got it? So the default parameter is reverse assign false. Even if you give or not give by default, it is not necessary one. If you want to make it as a descending order, you're supposed to mention reverse assign true here. Clear with this one? So default one, it is not necessary to give it, guys. The default one, instead of mentioning like this, you can mention directly with the empty parameter. It means the literally the same meaning. But if you want in a descending order, you're supposed to pass the parameter reverse assign to. This is mandatory. This is all about your sort method. And as I told you that we are having one more method called sorted method. You can notice here, I'll take the same list. If I mention sorted of list, listen carefully guys, there is one small, very minor difference between both the things. So if I mention sorted of list, if I execute this, you can notice that this output will be getting in a sorted manner. After this, when I try to print my list 1, you can notice that your list 1 still remains as a unsorted. Listen carefully. When I'm trying to execute this one, okay, when I'm trying to execute this one, when I'm giving sorted of list, your output is given in an arranged manner. Your original data has been given as an arranged manner. But after doing this process, when I'm trying to print my list to 1, it remains same. Your original list is not affected. This sorter will give you only temporary sort. It will never sort your original list. Okay, it will never sort your original list. Here it does only temporary sort, but in case of sort method, it sorts your original list. Your original list has been sorted here. This is the difference between sort and sorted. Sort will sort your original list. Sorter will give you only temporary sorted data. If you want it to be stored, you can store it in some other variable, you can use it. But it will never disturb your original list. This is all about your sorted. And apart from this, we do have one more method, copy. I guess I came across all the predefined methods, guys. And one more method is copy. If you want to copy the element of one list to the other list, I can make it as copy. Listen here. So that is the list, right? So if you want to copy it, I can mention. This is a list 1. I can mention like this, my list. Just a minute. I'll add few more cells, guys. My list assign list. We know that this is what is the value in list dot copy. So after this, if you try to print your list, you can notice that you'll be getting 10, 80, 50, 40 and 30, which is the element of your list will be copied here. This is the use of my list. Sorry, my copy. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm reading your messages, so it is like this. Okay, fine. Look at here. So it is all about a copy. You can copy the one list to the other list. It is not required to predefine this list. Once you perform copy itself, this type is taken as a list type. So this is the use of a copy. Apart from this, we do have other functions also. Like we do have some functions called len function, okay, min function, max function, sum function. These are the predefined function available. So if you want to find the length of a list, I can make use of len. So if I give, we'll take this list, guys. Okay, if I want to find the length of the list, I can mention len of list. So the len of this list is 5 will be displayed. So if I want to find the maximum element, let me give the print statement so that I can able to give all the lines. If I want to find the maximum value in a list, I can give max of list. If I want to find the minimum element in a list, I can give min of list. Okay. And apart from this, what I told you, if you want to find the sum of list, I can mention sum of list. Let me lst, right? If I execute this, you can notice that the maximum element is 80, minimum element is 10, and the sum of the list is 210. Okay. Clear with it? This is how it executes. So these are the other functions which is available. I guess we came across all the functions, guys. All the functions has been completed. Okay. Guys, those who are looking for this video, will be mentioning number 2, number 1. Number 2, number 1. Like this, you can swap it, guys. Okay. Sai Kaushik, where you want to use it, depending upon your convenience, Sai Kaushik, where you want to use it, you can use it. But don't try to merge the both the condition. It depends upon you. Okay, don't try to merge the condition. You can use wherever you want it in the same program itself. Guys, the notes I'll try to upload it now. Okay, I'll try to upload it. I didn't up video and I'll upload it. Notes I didn't find to upload it since I have a complete session. Continuous session is there. Till 9:30, 10 I'll have session. Okay. What else? What's your doubt? One by one. Okay, cell 39, Prasanna. Just a minute, Prasanna. I'll go to cell 39. Swapping, can we use any function? Cell 39, just a minute, just a minute. If I don't find any function is there for swapping, we are supposed to write only this logic. Okay. And what else? This one. Cell 39. What is your doubt, Ma? Prasanna here. Just I'm taking this range, Prasanna here, starting from 1 till 5. 4. I'm taking a range. I'm taking this value and I'm trying to delete it. I'm taking a range of value. I should mention from where to where I should delete it, right? So I'm taking a range of value from this list. Once I do slicing, this value will be selected. After selecting the value, I'm saying that I should perform delete operation so that the mentioned operation will be performed. Generally, if you mention list of 1 to 5, this value will be selected. Then if I say delete these elements. Oh yeah, you have a doubt. This is the optional one. If you want colon, you can keep it. Some way it is going to give the same option. Same operation is going to be done. If you want colon, you can keep it. It is optional. It is not a mandatory. So that is the reason I left it there. Okay. Good. Then so Manikant, why I use print there for continuous? So here by using this cell I can print only one value. If I try to print multiple values, only the one value will be printed. If I give list, it will be fine. If I give max of list, you can find out that multiple values will not be printed. The last output will be printed. So I don't want that to happen. I want all the values to be happen. That is the reason I can print for each statement. Amatya, this one. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the logical step for this one. Okay, I'll show you the logical step how to solve it. Let me see how many people is trying to solve this one by afternoon. I'll give the step behind it, guys. I'm not going to give you the exact code. If you want the exact code, I'll discuss by afternoon. I'll say you the step alone right now. I'm going to guide you people how to do this program. 3, 2, 6, 5, 4, okay, 10, 9, 8, 7. This is the output you're looking for, isn't it? So, this is a triangle pattern you're supposed to print it. This triangle pattern. Guys, are you aware of the pattern? This is the first time you're seeing it. Pattern. How to print this triangle pattern. How to put this for loop. Are you aware of the pattern? Just let me know yes or no. So that it will be easy for me to guide you people. No. No idea. Then I should teach you complete for loop, guys. Okay. Then first I should teach the pattern for you people how to draw the pattern. Then only you can note that how this particular logic has came. Two for loop you're supposed to put. For loop inside a for loop has to be placed. Then you're supposed to put this one. Yeah, you have the basic idea of nested for, right? Okay. Then just look at here. Here it is 1. And here, look at the difference between 1 and 3. What is the number? 1 and 3, what is the difference? You're having difference as 2. What is the difference between 2 and 6? 2 and 6 differences? 4, isn't it? 4 and 4 and 10 differences. What is the difference of this number? 4 and 10 differences you can able to find. 6 is the difference, right? So this is the logic behind it. So find the difference between the first number and the last printed number and the next row number. So this is your first row, this is your second row, this is your third row, this is your fourth row. You will be having first column, second column, third column and fourth column. So you'll be having these 4 columns is there, 4 row is there. At the first row I'm printing 1 and the second row what I'm printing 2, which is nothing but 1 into 2. So after printing 1, I should just a minute ma. The first row, this is the row number 1. So 1 will be printed and when I'm coming for second row, I'll print my into 2. The given number into 2. So I'll print still, just a minute. 1 will be printed, 1 plus 2 will be there. Okay, so I'll get 3 again. So here when I print 3, so I'll start, guys listen here, I'll initialize one variable with 1. I'll print 1. After this, I'll add plus 2 to it. So what happened? I'll get 3. So I'll print 3. I'll decrement this 3. I'll get 2. Okay, until 2 will be printed. So again, 2 plus what should I do? I should mention 2 plus 4 should be added in order to get 6, which is nothing but 2 plus 2. Again, the last number I'll get 4. Again, 4 plus 6 should be added. Okay, I'm just thinking how to teach you people this logic. Okay, better can you give me some time? By afternoon, I'll discuss it. I'll keep this material ready. Okay, right now, if I start discussing it, it will take almost half an hour, guys. First, I should make you understand what is this pattern all about and how to draw this triangle. Then I'll make you understanding about this one. I'll keep the material ready. If you start discussing, it will take much time. You'll never find time for it. By afternoon session, we'll start from a fresh. We'll start with this program. Okay, guys. I'll make this notes ready for you people by afternoon. So the reason is you should know understanding of the pattern. If you understand the pattern, how to draw this triangle, then only I can teach you how this number has formed. So based on this row number only, I'm going to form it. You should know what is this row number, how to give this one and how the column number is working here. Without that, it is very hard to understand this one. Okay. So better I'll have a notes of it. I'll have a pictorial representation of it before starting the afternoon session. Just I'll explain the picture of it. It will be easy for you to understand. Okay, guys, right now let us wind up the session. Meet you by afternoon with this program. So meanwhile, I want you people to go through this one. If at all you have any doubt, you can let me know by afternoon. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, ma.